April 4th, 2025. Because this phone is annoying and records in MP4 format instead of anything else, most computers don't want to run it, and apparently if I upload videos from it directly to the Internet Archive can't run it either. So I'll have to try and repeat all of the information that I gave in the first ones. So this here, I'm on this, there's horseflies flying around, so if I suddenly shake the camera or drop it, it's because I got bitten. This is the sidewalk here, and right over here is the very edge of the canebrake, including the tallest one we have measured so far, which I can't even reach the top of with my broom, which I brought to sweep up the leaves. And that one is 14 feet tall. And this is a canebrake, or this is the Native American bamboo, more commonly known as Rivercane or just cane. And the plant itself is not endangered, even though it probably should be, but the ecosystem and habitat that it is capable of creating is critically endangered, and that habitat is what is filling this whole section of forest. As far as the eye can see, probably not the phone camera though, because it just kind of loses focus after a certain distance, but it is seemingly all of this native cane. Let me try turning the brightness up, maybe. No, I don't think that helped. So, this habitat is what is known as a canebrake. And this is extremely difficult to find. Can I go back to the regular thing? It is extremely rare to find canebrakes, and it is exceptionally rare to find one as big as it is in here. It's really irritating that I have to repeat myself, because don't buy Pixel 5 phones. I got this secondhand. I would not have chosen it for myself. It's terrible. Sure, it can record some high quality, but makes the file obnoxious and excessively large, which is why I have to remake this video. So, canebrakes, like this is forming, are critically endangered habitat that have been reduced to, most sources say 2%, experts say that's extremely optimistic, so 1% of what this habitat was pre-European colonization. And we are in Savannah, Georgia, which is in the southeastern United States. And there used to be buffalo down here. There used to be elk, black bears. There's still some bears. I've never seen one. But there used to be bison here. Giant bison, the ones you think of as only existing over out west in like Yellowstone National Park. Yeah, they used to be here, and they would still be here if the canebrakes hadn't been systemically destroyed. And hopefully you can hear me over all the cars going past, because first time I did the video, I'd picked a quieter day. Apparently I've picked the worst timing now. But anybody who knows anything about the history of what we now call the United States knows that wiping out the bison was key to committing genocide against the indigenous people, because the bison were a huge source of food, clothing, tools, anything you can think of. Wiping out the canebrakes and the cane itself was also part of that, because if not for this, there would never have been bison here, there would never have been elk. There are still white-tailed deer, but that's about it. And even they are being threatened now because this is now the only patch of forest, regardless of whether or not it's a canebrake, that these have left here in this corner of Savannah because there's just been even more development, cutting down what used to be a big section of pine forest. And now that is completely leveled to the ground, and they're going to build houses that only rich people can afford. So the herd of white-tailed deer that's here, that's probably having their babies right now, are also endangered. They have the salt marsh down that way, and this, and there's like maybe 30 feet of woods over there, and that's it. And this is all they've got left. So the elk are gone, bison are gone, the white-tailed deer are still here, and even if we ignore the white-tailed deer because most people don't care about them either, this is the host plant for many native butterflies. If you have ever heard of or seen a pearly-eyed butterfly, this is where they lay their eggs, and the caterpillars eat the leaves until they're old enough to form chrysalises to become butterflies. Everybody knows that you plant milkweed to help monarchs, but nobody knows that you plant cane or native bamboo to help all of the pearly-eyed butterflies. That includes the one that is literally called the southern pearly-eyed. There's also the Carolina satyr. You can see them flying around right now. I just tried to get a picture of one earlier. When they're flying, they look almost black, but when they sit down, if you can see them from the side, they're light gray, and they got these really cool eye spots. Just Google Carolina satyr. You'll see what they are. And Google pearly-eyed, southern pearly-eyed butterfly while you're at it. And then just Google butterflies in Georgia / the whole eastern U.S. that lay their eggs on grasses, and on cane in particular. I forget half the information that I made in the first one, but this is an extremely endangered habitat. I tried to look up who owns this plot of land, but could find nothing. And also that cane right there might be as tall as this one, but I don't know, and our tape measure is terrible, so it requires 2 people. But yes, you can find the cane here in lots of parts of Savannah. You can't find it this big. Let me show you. This tall, you can't find it this thick around the base, and you sure as shit cannot find it this dense and this tall all throughout. This is the healthiest one I have found, and I've found at least a dozen patches. Most of them come up to my knee or my waist at best, but are like literally that thin. They're not even pencil length or pencil width. So this plot of land here absolutely needs to be protected. It needs to be made up. I don't know. Whatever is required to prevent this place from getting bulldozed to the ground, like the rest of the nature here in Savannah that is quickly vanishing. I am from Pennsylvania, Hanover, Pennsylvania, York, Pennsylvania, lots of places in Pennsylvania, because we moved around a lot. And in a single city block here in Savannah, you can see more trees than you could see in an entire city up there in Pennsylvania. And by trees, I mean wild, giant, ancient, healthy trees, not just planted things for show on the street corners. Because here in Savannah, the street corner trees are live oaks, hundreds of years old. You don't have that up in Pennsylvania. You're lucky if you can find a black walnut tree next to some railroad tracks. And that's it. Obviously, there are parts of Pennsylvania where that's not true, but I have never been in a city up north that had this much nature. And the sad part is that people here in Savannah take it for granted and do not appreciate it at all. I literally had a coworker tell me that there is no nature in Savannah, and it boggles the mind. I mean, it probably helps if you do nothing but drive a car so you're never paying attention, but it is absolutely mind-boggling. People here don't really seem to care that the forests are vanishing one at a time. And the fact that this cane is still here and is this tall, it's getting this thick at the base, it is this old. These things can live for 100 years. I don't know how to tell how old this is, but the fact that it is still here and hasn't been bulldozed and is this dense, like, I know you can't see it on the camera, but it's literally just going on for as far as you can see. Cane like this is not only ecologically crucial, it is crucial to so many cultures. It has been called the plastic of the Southeast because it was used and is still used in so many indigenous people's crafts. It's used to make tools, it's used to make baskets, it's used to make flutes, it's used to make so many things. I guess I will just have to make a slideshow with all of the information because the first time I remembered it all. But this is an absolute miracle to find it like this. And it's clearly just a happy accident. And it needs to be protected. This whole plot of land, I don't care how much it costs, the city needs to buy it if it doesn't already own it and make it a preserve and manage it appropriately and bring in the local indigenous people, because everybody wants Rivercane, but it is so hard to find. And there are so many conservation groups. And like, if you just go on YouTube and look up every video you can find about it, there are so many conservation groups looking for cane breaks and trying to map them. And all of the maps stop before they get to Savannah. So literally nobody knows this is here. And this whole, there's some sections up that way that are actually flowering. It's in a, now all the cars come. It's in a very small section, but there are a few big and little stalks that are flowering, which is extremely rare to see. And yeah, if you want to help preserve this species, alright cars, this needs to be protected because you can only collect seeds from these plants every few decades if you're lucky. They can go 50 years, it's been reported, without flowering. These aren't the kind of plant that flowers and produces seeds every year. No, it literally could take a lifetime. So, the City of Savannah, please contact the Rivercane Restoration Alliance or literally any conservation groups out there, because there are so many and nobody knows this is here. And it needs to be protected so that it can stay here and not get bulldozed, which is what I am afraid of happening, because that seems to keep happening every time I find a cool plant. And this is more than just a cool plant. So, I'll pause the video and I'll go to where they're flowering, assuming I don't get run over by a deer. So, I'll be back. Alright, I'm now right behind our deck here, and this whole stalk here is covered in open flowers. This is a grass, so if you're familiar with how corn works, it's the exact same concept. This hangs out to catch the pollen, etc. And there are literally people who have been searching for decades to find flowering American bamboo, cane, and haven't found it. So I only found out about this plant last month, and the fact that I have managed to find this, so interesting. Some aphids or something on it. Well, that'll be helpful for science. I very rarely see green aphids here. But yeah, the fact that I have managed to find flowers is kind of ridiculous. And especially so many of them, because there's more if you walk over that way. But there's horse flies out, so I am not particularly keen to do that right now. So yeah, City of Savannah, please do the right thing. You can even, I'll zoom in. Phone isn't really good at showing a distance, but there's more plants over in this way, but like that way it's just nothing but this, which means this is a canebrake and is one of the critical habitats. Let me pause while I go back out. Okay, back out here up on the deck, so you can see that this deck is at least my height off the ground, and this one's still taller than me, and it's not even the tallest one here. Here's this, and that super tall stalk right there is actually flowering. It's visible from here if you look very carefully, like right up in that area. But yeah, the edge here has different plants because they're getting more sunlight, but back in it's mostly just the cane, which is how it is supposed to be and is absolutely fantastic. You can see this one here was actually wedged under the deck, so this part was in full shade. So I think these leaves are all damaged from frost, which is interesting. And these are actually slightly evergreen, where they keep all these old beaten up leaves are from last year, and they keep those all year round, continue photosynthesizing until around now, late March, early April, to form new leaves. So this is a leaf that's still rolled up. This is one that just opened recently. And this plant has the softest leaves ever on the bottom. Yeah, I can't remember half the information that I gave in the first videos because this phone is terrible. You can see how tall it is. Actually, I'll walk down there. Let me pause. Alright, we're down here at the ground level, so not that these are the happiest, but you can listen to the cardinal. But they get these fabulous green stripes on them, and where these sheath leaves are, more new sprouts will come off as well. Let me walk over this way. Alright, here's this piece of cardboard here. But this is a newly emerging shoot right here, and these are actually edible for people. I'm not gonna eat it because it's too important to me that it grow. But that's what the brand new shoots look like. And this is just where they toss the yard clippings, but other people online have much better pictures because this lighting's weird. But the stalks get these, they keep their first leaves overwinter and those turn tan, and then the stalk turns very dark green. Nope, fly. Alright, I had to come inside because of these darn horseflies. They really want to bite me. So, I don't remember what I said or what I needed to have said. I will end up just making a PowerPoint of all of the information I have collected. But I do know that the U.S. is either the Air Force or the Army. I have dyslexia and they both start with A, so my brain cannot remember the difference. It is either the Army or the Air Force is teaming up with the Rivercane Restoration Alliance. Presumably because the military owns a whole lot of land, but there's an Army base right here in Savannah, so I figured if they're already teaming up with the Rivercane Restoration Alliance, they can help protect this plot of land and protect this canebrake that apparently nobody knows about as well. And it needs protection because there's a lot of it in the area, but it is always in tiny patches or else is constantly chopped back to the ground one way or another. Most of it doesn't even reach the width of a colored pencil, let alone being like the size of my thumb, which I know is a bad measurement, but you know what I mean. And there are even some in there, the first ones that I found flowering, that seem to be an inch across, which is considered almost the maximum for this species. So, yep, that's the video. Hopefully this one will work properly. And if you are in the Savannah area or literally anywhere on the eastern half of the US, go look out for the native bamboo. It looks exactly like you would expect. Post it on iNaturalist, upload videos to YouTube here, especially if you find the native and you're sure it's the native. Please upload videos of it because there's not very many showing the plants themselves out in the wild where it's growing. It's usually just a few pictures, which those are awesome. And I love all the webinars that people have, but we need more videos of the plant as it is and where it's growing and stuff like that. And especially right now, a lot of people are finding them flowering, so now is the best time to go out there and get out there. If you're near Savannah, go out and look in any woods you can find, and that includes like everywhere around Savannah, Richmond Hill, Hilton Head, stuff like that, Tybee Island. Go to all the parks. Go to the Skidaway Island State Park. I know they have some there, and it's fantastic because I've looked at it on Google Maps, and you can see it on Google Maps in Street View. So go there, find it. Please take videos and upload them to YouTube. Include the scientific name for the genus and Rivercane, native bamboo, anything, so that people can find it. Post it to iNaturalist, and yeah. And if you're in Savannah, please join me in trying to get it protected, because if you find a canebrake as big as the one I have found, please let me know. Let the just anybody in the City of Savannah government know, and help me fight to get them protected, because the City of Savannah does not seem to take the nature that it does have seriously, and it just takes it for granted. And I do not want to see this bulldozed to the ground like so many other places and just built into. I cannot stress it enough. They're literally just building houses that only rich people can afford. I will never be able to afford one of these houses, and even if I could, I wouldn't want them to build it here. Please let this Rivercane live. Please protect the area. It is crucial to so many people, so many species, and so many cultures, and it's really freaking important. Maybe someday they can bring back the bison here, like they have reintroduced wolves to Yellowstone. Maybe there can be elk here someday. Who knows? But that can never happen if we let all of the nature that is here and the canebrakes that are here, which are so crucial and so rare, just disappear like they mean nothing. If you are part of the government of the City of Savannah, and you know who you are, thank you for watching this. Please just look up all the videos about Rivercane. There are so many webinars created by experts and the different tribes, and all of the conservation maps, like I said before. They show some canebrakes, never including Savannah, because nobody knows it is here. And if nobody knows it's here, it can't be protected. And that is why I will continue making videos of every single patch I find. I will keep posting them to iNaturalist, and I will keep encouraging more people to go out and look for it and find it. I will make a free identification guide at some point when I get some more pictures of the Asian species of bamboo, which I haven't found very often. But yeah, so I don't really know what else to say besides please get this plot of land protected. Please protect this canebrake. Please team up with the countless conservation groups out there looking to protect the Rivercane and looking to restore connections to the Rivercane, to the many indigenous cultures that rely upon it still for their arts and their culture. So that's it. That's the video. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.